Ramirez's hands moved methodically, professional but invasive, starting at Sean's collar and working down, the latex snapping against fabric like accusations. Sean stood rigid, heart hammering against his ribs, the airport's sterile chill seeping through his thin hoodie as flashbacks clawed their way in. Memories of Alex's laugh, warm and rough like whiskey on a rainy San Francisco night, now reduced to echoes in a backpack slung heavy over one shoulder. That's when Ramirez's fingers brushed the zipper of the bag, pausing, his eyes narrowing behind the mirrored shades. "Open it," he said, and Sean complied with trembling hands. The zippers rasped, the only sound in the sudden bubble of silence around them, because deep down, he knew whatever spilled out next wasn't just contraband. It was his soul, laid bare for strangers to judge. The first thing that tumbled onto the scarred metal table was a faded Polaroid, edges curled like old promises. Sean and Alex, mid-kiss under the Golden Gate's rusty span, Alex's arms slung possessive around Sean's waist, both of them grinning like they'd stolen the sun. Ramirez picked it up gingerly, flipping it over to read the scrawled ink on the back. "Forever starts here, babe." And something flickered in the agent's stoic face, a crack in the armor. But it was the envelope that followed, unsealed and bulging, that stopped everyone cold. A stack of letters tied with twine, the top one addressed in Alex's looping script to "My Sean, the man who taught me love has no borders." As Ramirez lifted it, a single tear-streaked page fluttered free, and the words hit like a gut punch. "If you're reading this, I'm gone. But remember, our story isn't tragedy. It's the fire that lights the way for every kid like you out there." Sean had met Alex on a fog-drenched Tuesday in the Castro, back when San Francisco still felt like a sanctuary for misfits like him. It was 2018, and Sean was 23, fresh off his first round of testosterone shots that made his voice drop an octave overnight, and his dreams sharper, more insistent. He'd been nursing a black coffee at the diner on 18th Street, the one with the rainbow flags flapping lazily in the breeze, when Alex slid into the booth across from him uninvited. "You look like you could use a real drink," Alex said, his green eyes crinkling at the corners, that easy California surfer drawl wrapping around Sean like a lifeline. Sean had frozen, fork halfway to his mouth, because guys like Alex, tall, broad-shouldered, with sun-bleached hair and a jaw that could cut glass, didn't just notice guys like him, not without some catch. But there was no catch, not at first. Alex was a graphic designer for a queer nonprofit, the kind of guy who'd protest at City Hall one day and sketch murals of intertwined lovers the next. He bought Sean that drink, a bourbon neat, and they talked until the diner lights dimmed, Sean spilling fragments of his truth. The dead name his Baptist folks in rural Ohio still clung to like a rosary, the binder scars hidden under his threadbare tees. The way coming out as trans had felt like ripping open his own chest to show the world his beating heart. Alex listened, really listened, his hand brushing Sean's across the sticky Formica table, and when he said, "Sounds like you've been carrying the weight of the world, Sean. Let me help shoulder it." Something inside Sean cracked open, warm and terrifying. By week's end, they were inseparable. Alex's apartment in the Mission was a riot of color, walls splashed with his abstract paintings of nude bodies in ecstatic embrace, bookshelves groaning under queer lit, from Audre Lorde to Ocean Vuong. Sean crashed there after a brutal shift at the coffee shop, where customers misgendered him hourly, and Alex would pull him into bed, their bodies fitting like puzzle pieces forged in fire. Sex with Alex was revelation. Slow at first, exploratory, Alex's calloused fingers tracing the flat planes of Sean's chest where breasts used to be, whispering, "You're perfect, you know that? Every goddamn inch." Sean would arch into him, gasping, the tea-fueled ache between his legs met with Alex's patient mouth, until release came in waves that left them both slick and spent, tangled in sheets that smelled of salt and safety. It wasn't all bliss, though. Sean's transition was a battlefield. The shots helped, sure, broadened his shoulders, squared his hips, but the dysphoria lingered like a shadow at noon. One night, after a particularly vicious online troll storm, Sean had started a blog, Trans Trails, One Man's American Odyssey, chronicling his journey from Ohio cornfields to Cali concrete. He broke down in the shower, fists pounding tile, as sobs racked him. Alex found him there, water cascading over them both, and held him without a word, his strong arms a bulwark against the storm. "We're in this together," Alex murmured, lips against Sean's wet temple. "You, me, and whatever bullshit the world throws. I love you, Sean, all of you." Love. The word hung between them like incense, sacred in smoke. They said it over takeout pho on rainy evenings, watching old rom-coms where the gay sidekick never got the guy. They said it during Pride, marching hand in hand down Market Street, Sean's trans flag draped over Alex's shoulders like a cape. And they said it in quieter moments, like when Alex drove Sean to his top surgery consult in Oakland, blasting Chapel Roan to drown out the nerves, then waiting in the sterile lobby with a bouquet of daisies, your favorites, because you're the daisy in my concrete jungle. But love in America, especially queer love, was never without its thorns. Sean's family back east was a minefield. His mom, Evelyn, had sent a Christmas card once, post-transition, with a Bible verse underlined in red. God created man in his image. No signature, just that. His dad? Radio silence since the day Sean came out at 19, packing a duffel and hitchhiking west. Alex urged him to cut ties, but Sean couldn't, not fully. They're all I had before you, he'd say, voice small, and Alex would nod, pulling him close. But Sean saw the worry lines etching deeper around his lover's eyes. Work was another front. Sean got promoted to barista lead at the shop, but whispers followed. That guy's. You know. Customers complained. Management hemmed and hawed about image. Alex, ever the fighter, drafted a HR complaint, his artist's hands flying over the keyboard. We're not backing down, he'd declare, and Sean would kiss him fierce, grateful for the ally in his corner. Their life wove tighter. Weekend hikes in the Marin Headlands, where Alex sketched Sean nude against redwood bark. Lazy Sundays cooking eggs Benedict, Alex's secret weapon being extra hollandaise that made Sean groan in mock ecstasy. Then came the betrayal that nearly shattered it all. It started with a text from an unknown number. Tell Alex I said hi. We had fun last month, didn't we? Jay. Attached was a photo. Alex, drunk and disheveled, lips locked with some twink at a bar in the Castro. Sean's world tilted. Jay, Alex's ex from college, the one who cheated first and left scars. Jay, who'd slide into Alex's DMs every few months like clockwork. Sean confronted him that night, the apartment thick with the scent of cooling pad thai they'd never eat. Is it true? Sean demanded, phone thrust forward, voice cracking like thin ice. Alex's face drained of color, hands up in surrender. Babe, I was wasted, Pride after party. It was one kiss, nothing more. I swear. But the words landed hollow, echoes of every excuse Sean had heard from cis folks about allyship that evaporated under pressure. One kiss. While I'm fighting for my name on a lease, for hormones that bankrupt me. You think that's nothing? Sean shouted, tears hot on his cheeks. He stormed out, backpack slung over shoulder, the same one now unzipped on the security table, wandering the fog-shrouded streets until dawn, chest heaving with sobs that tasted like betrayal. They reconciled, of course. Alex showed up at the diner the next shift, eyes red-rimmed, a handwritten letter in hand, not typed, but inked with the same looping script as the ones in Sean's bag. I fucked up, it read. Not because I'm weak, but because I forgot how strong you make me. Forgive me, Sean. Let me earn it. They talked for hours in the alley behind the shop, rain slicking their skin, Alex vowing therapy, boundaries with Jay, anything. Sean forgave him, because love wasn't a ledger, it was a leap. But the crack lingered, a hairline fracture in their foundation. Months blurred into a rhythm. Therapy sessions where Alex unpacked his internalized biphobia. He'd dated women before, and Jay's ghost stirred old guilts. Sean's blog gaining traction with posts like Love After the Fall, Rebuilding with a Man Who Stumbled. They got engaged on a whim, atop Twin Peaks at sunset. Alex on one knee with a ring fashioned from recycled silver. Simple. Like us, he'd joked, but his voice trembled. Sean said yes, slipping it on over knuckles still bruised from clenching fists against the world. Then, the call that redrew everything. Alex's diagnosis. Stage 4 lymphoma, aggressive, the kind that doesn't negotiate. Fuck, Alex whispered in the doctor's office, hand squeezing Sean's until bones ground. We just got our forever. Sean held it together, researching trials in Boston, petitioning insurance for coverage, America's healthcare roulette, where love meant paperwork stacks taller than redwoods. They fought like hell. Chemo sessions where Alex barfed rainbows into basins, Sean stroking his bald head, whispering, "You're still the hottest bald guy I know." Remission flickered, then faded. Alex's body betrayed him slower than his lips ever had, wasting away to a shadow of the man who'd stolen Sean's heart over diner coffee. The letters started then, Alex's way of outrunning time. He'd write them in stolen moments, sealing them with kisses, stacking them in a shoebox under the bed. For the days I'm not there, he'd say, green eyes dimming but fierce. The last one, penned the night before, read, Sean, if this is goodbye, know you were my revolution. Go live loud for us. Scatter my ashes in the Pacific, but keep my heart in yours. Sean nodded, throat too tight for words, and they made love one final time, slow and sacred, bodies mapping memories against the ticking clock. Alex died on a Tuesday, fog rolling in off the bay like a shroud. Sean was alone in the hospital room, holding his hand as monitors flatlined, the letters burning a hole in his pocket. The funeral was small, queer friends in black leather and lace, toasting with bourbon at a Castro bar. Sean scattered the ashes off Baker Beach, waves claiming what the cancer couldn't, and then he ran. Booked a one-way to New York, chasing a job lead at a trans advocacy group, needing distance from the ghosts in every mission mural. That's why he was at LAX now, backpack heavy with the letters, the Polaroid, a vial of Pacific sand Alex had insisted on. So you carry a piece of me everywhere. Officer Ramirez had frozen, the letter in hand, his tough guy facade crumbling as he read aloud, voice thickening. You were my revolution. Travelers clustered, phones forgotten, a murmur rippling through the line like wildfire. A woman in a power suit dabbed her eyes. A burly trucker type cleared his throat, looking away. Ramirez set the page down gently, gloved hands shaking as he met Sean's gaze. I'm sorry, man. For all of it. Sean swallowed hard, the knot in his gut loosening for the first time in weeks. It's not your fault, he rasped, voice raw. It's just life. Ramirez nodded, signaling his team to stand down. Then, unprompted, pulled Sean into a quick, awkward bro hug, the kind that said more than words. Go get him, brother. Whatever's waiting in New York, you've got this. The line parted like the Red Sea, applause scattering like confetti, strangers' tears mirroring Sean's own as they finally fell, cathartic and clean. As Sean shouldered his backpack and shuffled toward the gate, the weight of the letters felt different, not anchor, but wings. The boarding call for Flight 247 to JFK crackled over the speakers, a siren song pulling him east, toward reinvention. He sank into his window seat, the 737's engines humming a lullaby as LAX shrank below, palm trees blurring into green smudges against the sprawl. New York wasn't home yet, but it promised possibility. The job at Lambda Legal, advocating for trans rights in courtrooms that still echoed with Stonewall's ghosts. Sean fingered the ring on his chain, Alex's silver band cool against his skin, and let his head loll against the glass, eyes drifting shut. Sleep brought dreams of betrayal's sharp edge, not Jay's kiss, but deeper cuts. The family's silence after Alex's obituary, Evelyn's email arriving like shrapnel. We prayed for you both. May God have mercy. Sean had deleted it unread, but the words festered, a reminder that love could wound from afar. Waking to turbulence over the Rockies, he pulled out his laptop, fingers flying over keys for a new blog post. Wings from ashes, flying solo after loss. The words poured, raw, unfiltered, about the airport stop, how strangers' empathy had stitched something broken inside him. By the time the wheels kissed tarmac at JFK, he'd hit publish, notifications already pinging. Hearts from faceless allies, a DM from a reader. Your story saved me today. Manhattan swallowed him whole, a concrete jungle of honks and hustle that made San Francisco feel like a sleepy village. His Airbnb in Chelsea was a shoebox walk-up, walls paper-thin with neighbors' laughter filtering through like Morse code. First day at Lambda, Sean met his team. Elena, a fierce Latina dyke with tattoos mapping her own transitions. Marcus, a black non-binary powerhouse who'd clerked for RBG. They welcomed him with coffee runs and war stories. That judge in Alabama called me on record. I called him out, Live Mike. Sean laughed, the sound rusty but real, and dove in. Case files on bathroom bills, amicus briefs for trans military bans. Work became ballast, steadying the grief's swell. Nights were harder. He'd wander the village, past Stonewall's plaque where it all ignited, nursing IPAs at bars where drag queens lip-synced to Ariana Grande. One evening, at Julius, the oldest gay bar in America, he spotted him. Liam, leaning against the scarred oak, sketching in a moleskine with charcoal fingers. Tall, wiry, with a mop of auburn curls and freckles dusting his nose like constellations. Their eyes met over pint glasses, and Liam slid over, grin crooked. Artist. Sean nodded at the sketchpad. Guilty. You. Writer. Sean replied. The kind who bleeds on the page. They talked until last call. Liam from Boston, queer as the day is long, illustrating children's books with trans heroes. Saw your blog, he admitted, cheeks flushing. That airport piece? Hit me here. He tapped his chest, and Sean felt a spark, tentative but alive. Dates followed, cautious as first steps post-fall. Coffee in Washington Square Park, Liam's knee brushing Sean's under the cafe table, a matinee at Film Forum, hands intertwining during the quiet scenes of Moonlight. Liam knew Sean's story, the transition, Alex, the letters, and didn't flinch. Sounds like he was your North Star, Liam said one night, over ramen in the East Village. But stars die so others can shine. Sean kissed him then, soft and searching, tasting soy and possibility. Bed came later, in Liam's loft in Williamsburg, a converted warehouse with exposed brick and canvases leaning like sentinels. They undressed slow, Liam's fingers reverent over Sean's scars, mouth following paths Alex once traced. Beautiful, Liam breathed, and Sean believed him, hips rising to meet the gentle rhythm. Climax a quiet thunder that left them whispering in the dark. But conflict brewed, insidious as summer humidity. Sean's blog exploded post-airport, interviews without magazine, a TEDx invite, but fame's glare unearthed ghosts. Jay resurfaced, sliding into Sean's DMs. Heard about Alex. Sorry, but hey, if you need a shoulder. Blocked, but the venom lingered. Worse was the family front. Evelyn called, voice quavering over a staticky line from Ohio. We're coming to New York. Reconciliation tour. Church group trip. Sean froze, fork midway through his pasta. Liam, sensing the storm, squeezed his thigh under the table. You don't owe them shit. But blood's pull was tidal, and Sean agreed to coffee at a midtown Starbucks, neutral ground amid the tourist throng. The meeting was a minefield. Evelyn, graying and gaunt, clutched a cross necklace. Dad, stoic in plaid, eyes averted. We've prayed, she started. And God showed us the error, loving the sinner, hating the sin. Sean laughed, bitter as black brew. I'm not your sinner, Mom. I'm your son. Dad shifted, mumbling about choices, and that's when the betrayal landed. We told the pastor everything. He says conversion therapy could fix you. Sean's chair scraped back, heart pounding like LAX fluorescence. Fix me? I fixed myself, without you. He stormed out, rain-slick streets blurring vision, phoning Liam from a payphone relic. Pick me up, please. Liam arrived in his battered Subaru, wrapping Sean in a blanket of quiet as they drove to the Brooklyn Bridge. They parked, walked the span under sodium glow, Sean's sobs muffled in Liam's wool coat. They don't get to rewrite you, Liam said, fierce. You're whole, with or without them. They made love in the car, fogged windows shielding their urgency, Sean's body claiming agency in gasps and grips. Dawn broke pink over the East River, and Sean felt the fracture mend. Not seamless, but stronger for the weld. Work's climax hit like a verdict. The case pro bono for a trans teen in Texas, bathroom ban threatening her school life. Sean prepped the brief, nights blurring into caffeine-fueled marathons, Liam bringing takeout and sketches of fierce nights with Sean's face. Court day in Austin was sweltering, the judge a silver fox with a mustache like a broom. Opposing counsel sneered. This is about safety, not feelings. Sean testified, voice steady. Feelings? Try survival. I was that kid, locked out, hated in my own skin. Deny her that? You're not protecting, you're punishing. The ruling dropped. Injunction granted. Cheers erupting in the gallery. Elena bear hugged him. Marcus hooped. Back in New York, Liam threw an impromptu party. Queer potluck in the loft, rainbow cake and toast to Sean, the fucking warrior. Yet doubt crept in, betrayal's echo. Liam's ex, Theo, a sculptor with a wandering eye, started circling. Gallery openings where he'd linger too close, texts popping up. Miss our wild nights. Tell Sean hi. Sean saw red. Memories of Jay flashing like warning lights. Confrontation came over wine in the loft. Liam's sketchpad opened to a portrait of them intertwined. Is it nothing? Sean demanded, voice echoing old wounds. Liam paled, setting down his glass. Theo's toxic, blocked him months ago. But if you think. Tears welled, and Sean pulled him close, apologies tumbling. I'm scared, Sean admitted. Of losing again. Liam cupped his face, thumbs brushing stubble. Then let's build something unbreakable. Marry me, not now, but soon. Say yes to us. The proposal lingered, a promise amid turmoil. Sean's family escalated. A letter from the church, excommunication for his lifestyle. Evelyn's plea attached. Come home, son. Before it's too late. Sean burned it in the loft's tiny sink, ashes swirling like Pacific sand. Therapy helped unpack it. Group sessions at the center, where trans vets shared war stories of misgendered VA visits. "You're not alone," the facilitator said, and Sean nodded, Liam's hand in his under the circle. Climax brewed at JFK. Months later, Sean's return flight to San Francisco Airport for a memorial tattoo, Alex's script inked over his heart. Security lines snaked endless, but this time, no stop. Or so he thought. Ramirez was there, transferred east, spotting Sean across the terminal. "You again," the agent grinned, waving him through VIP. Over pretzels at Hudson News, Ramirez shared his own story, closeted Latino dad in Queens, coming out at 40. "That letter? Made me call my kid. We're good now." Sean teared up, the airport's chaos fading to a hum. But the real storm hit en route. Turbulence over Ohio, masks dropping, Sean's panic spiking, flashbacks to Alex's chemo chills. He gripped the armrest, whispering, "Not now," until a flight attendant knelt. "Breathe with me, sir." Her name? Evelyn. Coincidence? Fate. "My son's trans," she confessed softly. "In Cali. We messed up." Sean froze. Then, "Tell him you love him. As he is. It's not too late." She nodded, eyes wet, and as wheels touched SFO soil, Sean texted his mom the coordinates of their old diner. Coffee. No sermons. The tattoo parlor in the Castro hummed with needle buzz and incense. The artist, a burly bear named Rico with sleeves of floral skulls, tracing Alex's script across Sean's pec. Revolution. It stung like truth, each prick a reclamation. Liam waited outside, sketching passers-by, and when Sean emerged, shirt tinted with gauze, they celebrated with mission burritos, grease dripping as they laughed about wedding hypotheticals, vows and drag, or naked on a cliff. Back in New York, the coffee with Evelyn unfolded like a fragile origami, neutral ground in a Brooklyn cafe, her hands twisting a napkin rosary. "We were scared," she admitted, voice quavering, "of losing you two. Everything." Sean leaned forward, scars itching under his tee. "You did lose me by pushing." Dad sat silent, but his nod, small as it was, cracked the ice. "We're trying," Evelyn whispered. "Therapy. Books. Your blog helped. Not forgiveness. Not yet, but a bridge, rickety but real." Life accelerated, a queer whirlwind. Sean's TEDx talk, Letters from the Edge, Love's Legacy in a Binary World, went viral, clips remixed with Chapel Roan anthems, drawing invites from colleges coast to coast. He spoke at Yale, voice steady under ivy arches. Alex's words weren't just ink. They were ammunition against erasure. Q&A turned tearful, a non-binary student hugging him post-lecture. "You gave me permission to exist." Liam illustrated the talk's promo art. Sean mid-flight, letters trailing like comet tails, selling prints to fund trans scholarships. Their love deepened, roots tangling. Lazy brunches in bed with the New York Times crossword, Liam's clues whispered against Sean's neck. Hikes in the Palisades, where they'd fuck against boulders, earth grounding their gasps. Betrayal's shadow loomed anew, not from family, but fame's underbelly. A tabloid hack, some rag called American Truth, dug up Jay's dirt, twisting Sean's story into clickbait. Trans blogger's fiancé cheated with mystery man, scandal in the shadows. Photos surfaced, grainy shots of Alex and Jay, pre-diagnosis, captioned with venom. Sean's phone exploded, trolls spewing slurs, sponsors ghosting. He spiraled, locking himself in the loft, letters spilling from the backpack like accusations. Was it all a lie? He texted Liam, who burst through the door with takeout and tequila. "No," Liam said, fierce, pulling Sean to the floor amid scattered pages. "Alex loved you, flaws and all." This noise. They read the letters aloud, voices weaving Alex's ghost into armor, ending in tears and touches that rebuilt what headlines tore. The climax crested at the wedding, not theirs, but a proxy battle. Lambda took on a landmark case. A trans groom denied a marriage license in Georgia, clerks citing fraudulent identity. Sean flew south, Liam in tow, the courtroom a pressure cooker of southern drawls and stifled coughs. He testified again, heart pounding. "Marriage isn't paper, it's promise. I married Alex in every way that mattered. Vows exchanged in hospital beds, rings worn through chemo. Deny that? You're denying humanity." The judge, a grizzled vet with a rainbow pinned discreet on his lapel, ruled in favor. Love knows no form. Let them wed. Cheers erupted. The groom, young, terrified, now beaming, hugging Sean like a brother. Backstage, Liam proposed for real. On one knee in the antechamber, a ring of woven vines and silver. Grow with me. Sean yesed through sobs, sealing it with a kiss that tasted like victory. But humaneness demands shadows. Post-win, Sean's health faltered. T's toll catching up, liver enzymes spiking, docs urging a pause. Burnout, they said, prescribing rest he couldn't afford. Liam nursed him through fevers in the loft, cool cloths and broth, but resentment flickered. You push too hard, for everyone but us. Arguments flared, sharp as scalpels. Sean accusing Liam of fragility, Liam firing back about Sean's martyr complex. I'm not Alex, I won't break you. Liam shouted one night, door slamming behind him. Sean curled fetal, letters clutched like talismans, whispering apologies to empty air. Reconciliation came circuitous, via Ramirez, now a friend, texting invites to his kids' quinceanera in Queens. Bring the hubby-to-be, he joked, and Sean dragged Liam, the party a riot of merengue and mole. Amid piñata swings, Liam pulled Sean aside. I get it now, the wait. Let's carry it together, not race ahead. They slow danced under string lights, bodies sinking to salsa beats, forgiveness in every sway. Homeward, they planned. A small wedding in Fire Island Pines, queer elders officiating, letters read as vows. The humanistic turn wove through legacy. Sean's blog evolved, revolution shared, interviews with trans elders, stories of survival from AIDS crisis to now. One Piece, echoes of Alex, betrayal to benediction, detailed the family's thaw. Evelyn visiting New York, knitting booties for a hypothetical grandkid. Dad admitting, gruff, proud of you, son. Not perfect, holidays still tense, slurs slipping, but progress, inch by inch, like roots cracking concrete. Climax revisited the skies, a book tour loop. LAX layover, Ramirez waving him through with a fist bump. Heard about the wedding. Invite. Sean grinned, promising. In San Francisco airport, he scattered more ashes, sand from Alex's vial. Off the bridge, Liam's hand in his. To forever, they toasted, bourbon burning sweet. Turbulence hit over the plains, but Sean breathed easy, mask dangling and used, whispering to the clouds, thanks for the fire. New York welcomed them home, wedding bells tolling in June heat. The ceremony was intimate, 20 souls on a dune, waves crashing chorus. Elena officiated, voice booming. Sean and Liam, do you vow to love through betrayals, transitions, tempests? We do. They chorused, rings exchanged, Liam's vines twining Sean's silver. Vows from letters, Alex's words, remixed, you are my revolution, together, ours. Kiss sealed it, salt-kissed and sun-warmed, cheers rising with gulls. Honeymoon in Provincetown, bike rides past lighthouses, lobster rolls devoured on decks, nights of lazy love where Liam's sketches captured Sean's post-coital glow. My muse, he'd murmur, charcoal smudging skin. Back in the city, life settled. Sean scaling Lambda to director, Liam's book, Trans Tales for Tiny Hearts, topping indie charts. Family mended slow, Evelyn at Thanksgiving, carving turkey with tentative jokes, Dad, quiet, gifting a toolbox. For building, son. Years folded like fan blades. An adoption journey. Their son Milo arriving at 2, curls a mix of both dads, calling Sean Papa, with eyes like Alex's green. Betrayals faded to footnotes. Jay's obituary in a small-town paper. Cancer claiming him quick. Theo ghosting for good. Sean's scars, physical and otherwise, mapped a life richly lived. One LAX return. Ramirez retired. Badge passed to a wide-eyed rookie. Heard the story, the kid said, waving Sean through. About the letters? Sean nodded. Backpack lighter now, letters digitized, shared. Yeah, they moved us all. And as gates swung wide, Sean squeezed Liam's hand, Milo scampering ahead, the American sprawl below a canvas of hard-won hope. Epilogue's grace notes played soft. Milo's first pride, tiny flag clutched in fist, Sean hoisting him to shoulders amid the march. What's this for, Papa? The boy asked, pointing to rainbows. For love, Sean replied, the kind that fights back. Liam sketched the scene, later framing it beside Alex's Polaroid, a gallery of ghosts turned guardians. Works battles continued, briefs against book bans, clinics shielded from pickets, Sean's voice a steady baritone in hearings where once he'd trembled. Humanity isn't binary, he'd testify. It's a spectrum, and we're all shades of it. Betrayal's final echo came unexpected. A letter from Ohio, Dad's shaky hand. Cancer, it read. Coming home. Forgive an old fool. Sean flew west alone, Liam understanding the solo vigil. Hospital room stark as memory, Dad frail in gown, monitors beeping dirge. Saw your wedding pics, he rasped. Handsome couple. Sean swallowed lump, sitting bedside. Why now? Dad's eyes, watery blue, met his. Wasted time. Evelyn. She's sorry. We both are. No grand absolution, just quiet truths. Dad's own hidden pains, a brother lost to AIDS in the 80s, silence as survival. Love you, Sean. As you are. The words, simple, unlocked floods. They held hands till the end, monitors flatlining soft. Funeral was Methodist, but Sean spoke. Eulogy laced with queer fire. He taught me forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing forward. Evelyn hugged him after, cross necklace glinting. Grandkids someday, she ventured. Sean smiled, right? Milo's waiting. Bring the cookies. Mending, not mended. Human, flawed, enough. Years spun. Milo at 7. Soccer games where Sean cheered loudest. Liam coaching with dramatic flair. Sean's book, Letters to the Sky. A trans love odyssey. Hit shelves. Oprah's book club nod sending it soaring. Proceeds to trans youth shelters. Signings drew lines. A teen from Texas. Binder fresh under hoodie. Your words got me through. Hugs. Tears. The cycle of revolution. Climax revisited in quiet. 10th anniversary. Fire Island return. Dunes whispering secrets. They renewed vows at dusk. Milo scattering petals. Elders toasting with smuggled bubbly. To betrayals burned. Liam said. Ring refitted. To loves that endure. Sean kissed him slow. Waves applauding. Alex's spirit in the salt breeze. Humanistic close. No tidy bows. America's still a battlefield. Bills banning care. Trolls and comment threads. But Sean's life, woven with Liam's, Milo's laughter a constant, proved the point. Tears at checkpoints birth triumphs. What security found wasn't just paper. It was proof that vulnerability moves mountains, that love, gay and trans and tenacious, redeems the ragged edges of us all. In the end, airports became portals, not prisons. Each flight, backpack light, Sean glanced back. LAX lights twinkling like distant stars, Ramirez's ghost in every kind wave through. Go live loud, the letters urged. And he did. Fierce, flawed, forever.